Tense moments in Fraser last night following a deadly officer-involved shooting. Dozens of people hurt, coupled with arrests. People lining Durham Street demanding answers. Good morning. I'm Annette Pegler. John Paul has the morning off, and Local 24 News reporter Jalen Sochek is in Fraser this morning. And Jalen, the TBI filled you in just a few hours ago about what happened. What are the latest developments?
Well, now we're learning U.S. Marshals were serving several federal warrants leading up to that fatal shooting. And now this morning, we're kind of getting a closer look at some of the damage overnight. Fire crews just returned back to fire station number 31. They pulled up the door, but earlier you could see that the windows had been busted out. They're currently sweeping up the glass. This is damage that happened during those overnight protests. But the TBI is investigating the shooting. They wouldn't identify the person that was killed yet. Reportedly, the TBI said the suspect was ramming their vehicle into the officers' cars when they were trying to apprehend him. The suspect then exited with a weapon, and that's when officers fatally shot that person. After the shooting, Memphis police were called in to assist the scene. Upset crowds, they took to the street afterward, and it did turn violent quick. That's why we're seeing some of that damage this morning. Some started to throw bricks and rocks at officers. Windows of squad cars were also smashed out. Officers lined the streets in riot gear and had to release tear gas to disperse the crowd. And Memphis police said 25 officers were injured. Most of those are minor injuries, but this morning 3 people are facing charges. That includes for vandalism and inciting a riot. Annette, back to you.
Now, Jalen, we also heard from Memphis Police Director Mike Rawlings. What was his take on what happened last night?
Yeah, he said of course, the Memphis police, they do support the people's right to protest, but what they don't support is this vandalism and violent element of this. They obviously understand people are upset, but once the violence and the damage got brought into it, that's kind of where they obviously draw the line. That unruliness of the crowd is when those police also put on those riot gears, and that's why we were seeing some of that. Reporting live in Fraser, Jalen Sochek. Good day, Memphis.
Jalen, thank you. And we first told you about this situation on our local Memphis app. You can download it now in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And we also saw plenty of frustration last night. It was a tense and scary scene. Hundreds of people lining the streets. Some people were seen throwing things at officers and reporters following that shooting. Smashed out car windows. However, witnesses who were there say the shooting of the young man was senseless and the reaction was warranted.
I think that the reaction that y'all getting is a reaction of people that are really upset about things happening like this.
The NAACP also says they are monitoring the situation closely. And Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland says he noticed the, quote, professionalism and incredible restraint some officers showed last night. In a statement, he says, let me be clear, the aggression shown towards our officers and deputies tonight was unwarranted. I want to thank the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for their assistance, the governor and the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Memphis Fire, and my staff and directors who worked overnight to serve this city.